Okay, you touched on it, and I think one of the things that a lot of people that look into the world of bodybuilding are always asking questions about is the element of health, is the element of the steroids, is the elements of all the things that come around that. And there's just like a cloud, right? Not a lot of people talk about it openly. One of the reasons why I wanted you on is because you are one of those few people that you're not shy to talk about it.
Yeah, I don't really care. Yeah.
So tell us about it. Like, what is it? How does it work? You know, is it just kind of like random people work it, or is it very scientific?
No, it's very scientific. It's very scientific. And the problem with it is that it's just different with every person. Mm-hmm. First of all, let's just get something straight. Most professional sports use performance-enhancing drugs.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I think the NFL, like 85% of them are on juice. Mm. Baseball, I think baseball is even probably more than the NFL. Yeah. Most sports, and that's how it is, you know. And it's funny because people are like, oh, you know, that's not a good thing. But man, like, you fucking pay a ticket because you want to see some crazy shit. Otherwise, you just go to your kid's fucking baseball game.
Yeah.
And that's it. But you pay that extra buck because you want to see, you know, 10 home runs. You're hoping to see 10 home runs in a game.
Yeah.
You know, when you're watching an NFL, you want to see some bones breaking.
True.
And you can't see that if everyone's, you know, a natural athlete. And that's the beauty of pro sports. It's like, do whatever you have to do, but just let's see how far a human being can really go.
Exactly. Entertain us.
But do you think
entertain us?
Do you think I kind of agree with you and I don't. I mean, I agree with you where athletes and fans should have the option to either subscribe to that level of competition where the human capability can reach a plateau. And I think by using sports and performance enhancing drugs, it takes it to that next level. And by using doctors, physicians, when it's scientific and it's calculated, I think the risk is minimized. So I think
no, that's not true. Steroids only work when everything else is 100%. And it's really fun sometimes to see where you got a guy who's lifting weights and he's thinking, oh, you know, I want to get big. I'm gonna jump on a cycle of testosterone, and then he barely changes, dude. Like I swear to God, without exaggerating, 60% or 70% of the people at Gold's Gym when I was training in Egypt were on juice. And they look like normal people.
No, but
they look like they're not doing anything.
What I was referring to is let's say I'm an athlete that doesn't believe in performance enhancing drugs. I'm entering a competition, whether it's running, cycling, basketball, football, baseball. I don't think it's fair to have that athlete compete against an athlete that's using performance enhancing drugs. Unless it's an open market where everybody says, okay, do whatever you have to do to get to that top. Do you think that's where this future of sports should be?
Yeah, I understand. But I mean, where's the line or what's really natural? So I'll give you an example. Do you know the Tour de France? Do you know what they do? They freeze their blood.
Yeah. The blood spinning stuff.
And then they shoot it back. Yeah. That's natural. But I mean, really? Is that, you know?
It's kind of a gray area. I agree with you.
But I think if go ahead. I know, because I was just going to
draw the line.
Exactly.
Correct. And I think that's the transparency should be there. By just saying ban all performance enhancing drugs, people will still find a way to do it and cheat the system. There's
exactly. So the best thing is free for all.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. It's an interesting point.
That's bodybuilding.
That is bodybuilding.
And that's bodybuilding. Exactly. Bodybuilding has embraced it in that sense.
Yeah, free for all. Dude, let's see how good you really are.
Yeah.
You think the performance enhancing drugs is what makes you a champion? All right, okay, let's see.
But then
everything you want.
You know where it gets hairy? It gets hairy when you get the university athletes, when you get people that are not fully developed to make that conscious decision, or their bodies have not. Like you said, steroids only, or hormones, or whatever performance enhancing drugs, only work when everything else is working 100%. So if you're a 16-year-old kid in high school and you start shooting all kinds of stuff that's not verified, that's not tested, that's not lab produced, there's going to be severe consequences.
True.
Oh, detrimental consequences. Not only that, and this is the interesting part, I mentioned genetics. So the way your body receives these hormones plays a big role, because everyone will react completely different than the next person. So let's say I can take testosterone and I don't get acne.
Yep.
I don't get, knock on wood here. I don't get acne. I don't get high blood pressure. My cholesterol's fine. I don't get bloated and water retention, which means my testosterone doesn't convert to estrogen at a high level when I take it. But then you have another person, you would take the minimal dose of testosterone and his skin will break to shit with acne everywhere. His blood pressure will shoot through the roof. You'll even see it on his face. It's kind of red. He'll be extremely bloated. His cholesterol goes up and his body turns into a fucking circus.
Yeah.
And that's basically... that's natural selection, kind of, You're meant to be an athlete where your body is just designed to go all the way.
Yeah.
Or you're just not meant to do that. If you want to stay, like you said, a natural athlete, just within all the boundaries, then, stick to being an amateur and just doing it for fun. But some people, this is their livelihood. And they want to break records and they want to do some crazy shit, because that's what they want to do.
Go for it.
So
go for it.
Yeah.
I agree.
So now you talk like cycles or because again, people don't understand what juice is or what steroids are. They don't understand the science behind it, the different types. Can you give us a little bit of kind of view on what it's like? What's the cycle like? What are you doing? What are you taking? How do you counteract it? There's a whole science behind it, like you said, right?
Yeah, I'll give you the just a breakdown of it, a summary, because I don't want to get into too much detail.
Fair.
But I mean, hormones is basically testosterone. It's a hormone that everyone has. It's responsible for nitrogen retention. When you have nitrogen, the more nitrogen you have in your body, the more your body is able to metabolize protein. The higher the protein intake, the better the recovery, the better the muscle building effect. And again, it's all mostly about recovery, the ability of your body to recover faster so you can train more. Yeah. So that's what I mean by you have to be doing everything 100%, because mostly what steroids is going to do is it's just going to make you train harder and be able to get away with it, as opposed to training harder and then just breaking down into injuries.
Yeah.
So it's the bottom line is it's mostly just testosterone and its derivatives. And some people can handle certain doses. And I guess, that also plays into a factor. Some people can take up to, I don't know, 30 folds a human being.
Wow.
Like, let's say your body produces between 70 and 100 milligrams of testosterone.
Would HGH fall under that, the human growth hormones?
So growth hormone is a very tricky thing, because there's a big misconception that growth hormone makes you grow. It doesn't. What growth hormone mainly does is burn fat.
Yeah.
It causes lipolysis in your body. I think that's the word. And so it helps you burn fat and it helps you recover. It doesn't help you grow so testosterone helps your muscles grow too faster.
Okay.
Yeah.
Growth hormone does not do that. Growth hormone recovers damaged tissue.
Okay.
So it's good for preventing injury. It's good for it's good for connective tissue. What it does in high doses is just an adverse effect that has no beneficial properties for athletes. So at high doses, what it does is it makes your organs grow.
Yeah.
And it makes your connective tissue grow, which is your joints. And even your bone. Your bone gets a little denser and thicker.
Got it.
Wow.
And, obviously not a lot of people know this. So a lot of mistakes would be, taking very high doses of HGH. What it does also is that it causes the cells to multiply. Now, someone would say like, oh, well, that's muscle growth. It isn't, because when you look at it, how many years, like it took me 14 years to make my muscles the size that they are now.
Yeah.
So when I take growth hormone, let's say over a period of 6 months, I have created new muscle cells. But the muscle cells are so insignificantly small, it'll take another 14 years to actually develop.
Wow.
So it's sort
Does
of
that make sense?
it puts the baseline for you to grow your muscle. It doesn't really grow the muscle.
It doesn't grow your muscles. No. It makes you hold water, which people think, oh, I'm getting bigger. But the second you stop, you lose a lot of water weight.
Got it.
Now, are you like a normal athlete, not you specifically, but just we're talking in general, are the professional IFBB pros like doing these cycles or these regimens with these performance enhancing drugs with physicians advising, or is it's a free for all? Like what however knowledgeable you are, good luck, like go out and try to do this. Like
the problem is doctors don't know much about any of this. So when I see my physician, I tell him, I need you to test me for this, and that. He doesn't know. He barely knows the names of the substances.
Wow.
So, for example, there's a drug, trenbolone, that's originally used for cows to grow.
Okay.
It's not meant for human consumption. Winstrol, it's a drug that helps you kind of
Shred.
look harder. Yeah, exactly. It doesn't burn fat. It just gives you that harder look. That's designed for racehorses.
Yeah.
And I think it's just designed for horses in general. Like when you buy the veterinary grade, which is the best possible grade for that drug itself, it's a veterinarian company. Like you'd see a picture of a horse on it, and it's designed for horses.
I've seen those.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. And to like,
so I don't even know how. I think the funny question is, who the fuck thought, hey, they're using it for cows.
That cow looks good.
Let me try using it. Yeah, this looks good. Let me try using that. I don't know who did that.
and you individually, like you weren't stressed about this, or I just kind of trying to understand the mindset. Like I get it, the motivation, the chase to succeed, you want to be the best. You realize this is what you have to do. But doesn't that sit in the back of your mind? Like, what the hell am I doing?
I was a little bit of a pussy about it at first.
Okay.
And, bodybuilding is a ghetto sport in Egypt. So I've kind of completely left the scene of where most people that I know would hang out. And I would just be around that scene. And those people are crazy. I remember I was in a car going to Gold's Gym, and I picked one of my friends up who's a bodybuilder. And we park, and then he takes a vial. He takes a vial out, an amp. He takes an amp out, and it's ephedrine.
Wow.
Okay. And he breaks it. And then he takes a syringe that was just in his pocket, and it looked like a used syringe.
Oh my god!
Like he didn't unwrap it; it was just kind of in his pocket. and then he fucking pulls the ephedrine out, and then he takes his finger and he licks his finger like that, and he finds a vein, and he's like, oh, right there. He does this, and then he shoots the ephedrine in him.
Wow, man!
And I'm just looking like. What the fuck?
So the idea is to give him the energy to work out. This is a pre-workout. That's his pre-workout.
And hold on, I'm not done. So then he takes another amp out, and it's vitamin C. And then he shoots that too with the same syringe. And then he goes, Now I can work.
Let's
out.
do this.
Let's do it.
Wow.
And I'm just there with my fucking pre-workout, doing a shake.
NO explode. Your NO exploding. You're like,
that kind of shit. And I'm like, what the fuck did I just see?
Unbelievable.